Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the Antidote podcast brought to you by the Millionaire Grind Network. I'm your host, Lawrence Thompson, and today we're going to ask this question. It's this: are you feeling frustrated? Are you feeling stuck? Or are you just feeling like you in that space that is just empty? And what I want to unpack for you today is this: is that the reason why you feel this way is because you're capping your potential. See, that thing that you feel inside you, that thing that's talking to you, that thing that is trying to communicate to you, is your potential. It's that seed that God has put inside you that's telling you that you're supposed to be in a certain level, you're supposed to be in a certain place, and you're supposed to accomplish something in the earth. Now, you may say, man, I don't know how to discover that thing. I don't know where to look at. I don't know where to find that. But this is what this podcast is going to do. We're going to help you navigate between that thing so that you can find that thing out, so that you can uncap that. See, you've been listening to things around you. You've been listening to the news. You've been listening to, mama and them. I hate to say it like that, but sometimes, their philosophy on life is sometimes caps your potential, and you're not going beyond that because you have respect for them. And not saying that's an evil thing, not saying it's a mean thing. It's just saying that is not what you need to be listening to at this point in time in your life, because you got to unpack some things. You got to get to a place where you can look back at mom and them and say, you know what, I had to leave you so I can feed you. You know what I'm saying? I had to go away so I can come back to help you get to that next level. I want you to live a better life. I want you to experience different things. You see, sometimes you be in life and you have a level of respect for your elders. You have a level of respect of what they're saying, and to go against that, you feel like you're wrong. You feel like you're prideful. But I'm here to tell you this, is that it's not prideful. It's just, you're just going to look at it as a baseline, but you got to advance that thing. And sometimes that advancement of that thing is that potential inside you, and you're not listening to it. It's trying to be the GPS inside you. It's trying to be the guide to get you to your next place. Now, it's not absent of frustrations. It's not absence of challenges or trials or tribulations, but it is going to give you that guideline and that thing that you can go ahead on and move and go forward. Because understand this, when you're feeling stuck and you're feeling frustrated, it's not because an external thing is doing something to you. It's not that the government is this or that person is, or the system is built there. No. You got to get away from that. You got to actually get those people or those things off the hook. You got to stop using them as cop-outs. You got to look deep inside you and say, it's you. It's your thinking. It's your thoughts. It's the things that you're thinking about right now. After I just said that, it's the things that you're thinking about right now that you're examining and saying, hey, like, for real, that is me. Like when you look in the mirror in the morning or in the evening or throughout the day, or when you just pass by in the mall or something like that, what do you really see? What is your reflection communicating to you? That was pretty deep. Let me ask that question again. What is your reflection communicating to you? Is it saying something that you need to listen to so that you can get beyond? Or is it saying something that you need to pay attention to so that you can use to get to that next level? See, you haven't taken the time to stop to really pay attention to yourself in the reflection and in the mirror so that you can understand the potential that is trying to come out. And see, that potential is that thing that you love, that thing that you're excited about, but it also makes you cry at the same time. This actually going to the 2 points that I want to talk about at the beginning. It's this: when you're trying to unpack that potential, or you're trying to be like, I'm trying to discover who I am and what I'm trying to do and what I'm supposed to be in this earth, it's going to be the thing that you love the most, and it's going to be the thing that makes you cry. And they both going to be the same. And that's the thing that communicates to you and say, you need to try to go down this vein. You need to try to go down this lane. You need to try to figure out, how do you get into this type of space so that you can move forward and get to that other level. It's those things that are there. See, you probably was at home and you might have a reflection on this. You might some years back or, recently, it don't matter. And your tears was coming down your face on your pillow, because you was thinking about, man, there's gotta be more. And the answer to that question is that it is. It is more. It's a whole lot more. And that's that thing that's telling you that. It's that thing that you was born with. That potential. And it's not based on age. It's not held bound by you had to get to a certain point or you had to get to a certain status in life. No, that thing inside you don't have no kind of timetable on it for you to release it. It just wants you to obey it so that you can release it so you can benefit from it. Think of it like this. It's just like a seed when you put it in the ground, right? The seed you put in the ground and you plant in the ground, You're not looking for it to come back and produce an apple. One apple, an apple, not an apple. You want it to produce a lot of apples. You want to produce a lot of apples with a lot more seeds in them. Why? So you can expand more. The same thing. The potential inside you is inside you, and it wants to release itself so that you can produce much more fruit. And guess what? The more fruit you produce, the more seeds will come out, and then the more opportunities, the more things that you need to have, the more impact, the more finances, whatever, it's going to show up. And then when it shows up, you're going to benefit from it. But listen, you're not paying attention because you're capping it because of the stinking thinkers they used to say back in the day. But you're capping it from the things that you're thinking about or the things that you're saying about yourself. And so as I unpack this even deeper, I want you to understand these two different points that I want you to look at, right? The first thing I want you to do is I want you to go, when we talked about the mirror earlier, I want you to go into the mirror and look in the mirror and then ask yourself what your reflection is telling you. What is your reflection saying to you? What is your reflection communicating to you? What is your reflection casting an image about you? What is it saying about you? And I want you to write it down. Now, if you're saying, hey, I'm the greatest at all times, I'm the best in this and the best in that, I want you to write that down too. If you're saying that, hey, I feel like I'm inadequate, I want you to write that down too. But see, I don't want you just to write it down. I want you to wrestle with that. And what I mean by wrestle with that, I need you to go deeper beyond deep. Like literally, you know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, you can see the ground, but it's more ground underneath that. You know what I'm saying? You can see the water, but it's more water underneath that. I need you to go deeper than the deepest and continue to unpack that, and then continue to ask yourself, why are you saying this to yourself in the mirror? Now, understand this. You may not be saying it out loud, but subliminally in your mind and in your head, you're communicating that. Listen, your thoughts are more powerful than what you're saying. Your thoughts are more powerful than the words coming out of your mouth. Check this out. You think I'm playing with you? Think about it like this. I saw a video of a guy that had cerebral palsy. I think that's what he had, right? And he's with this weightlifter, right? His bones are really, really small. His muscles are not as big as mine and all that stuff, right? But the confidence level of what he was thinking about, and the guy that was next to him and was boosting his thoughts, he deadlift these pounds that supposed to break every bone in his body. And he didn't just pick it up and drop it. He held it for a few seconds and let it go. Was that the power of his voice? No, it was the power of his mind. And so if you're not looking at your thoughts and you're not coming at your thoughts and you're not changing those thoughts, subliminally your thoughts are sabotaging you. And so you got to get that thought process back. You got to get that mental toughness back. And so when you look in the mirror, whatever you're saying, I don't care if it's high or it's low, you got to make sure you train those thoughts. That's why I'm saying your thoughts are powerful than your words that coming out of your mouth. Because you can lie to yourself out your mouth, but your thoughts going to tell you the truth. The second thing I want you to do is I want you to take 4 days and I want you to use affirmation statements. I'm talking about affirm yourself. Tell yourself how great you are. Tell yourself you a millionaire. Whatever you want to tell yourself. Find those affirmations that's going to boost yourself up, that's going to boost that energy up, that's going to help transform your thinking, and use that. And I guarantee this, is that if you start to use those type of affirmations and saying those things about yourself, the moment you look at that reflection in the mirror again, you will not say the same things that you've been saying about yourself. And you will find the right energy, you will find the right purpose, you will find the right thing inside you to unpack that potential that's holding you down, that's frustrating you. So release that potential, let it go. Use these different keys that I just showed you so that you can get beyond yourself and know you can do a great thing. Man, this is the Antidote podcast brought to you by the Millionaire Grind Network. You know I love you guys, man. I'm going to sign out like I always do. We may not be the solution, but we will be the antidote. I love you guys. Peace.